Look around you. In a crowd of 100 people, you might see 50 with black hair, 30 with brown, perhaps 15 with blonde. But if you are lucky, you will see only 1 or 2 with the color of fire. Redheads, gingers, the children of the sun. They are the rarest human beings on the planet, making up less than 2% of the global population. And for as long as they have existed, humanity has been obsessed with them. In ancient Greece, it was believed that redheads would turn into vampires after they died. In ancient Egypt, they were burned alive as sacrifices to the gods, their ashes scattered to fertilize the fields. In the Middle Ages, they were branded as witches, accused of stealing hellfire and shunned by society. But why? Why does this specific color trigger such fear and fascination? Science has finally revealed the answer. Being a redhead isn't just about hair, it is a total biological mutation that affects your skin, your blood, your sensitivity to pain, and even how you react to medicine. In this video, we are going to decode the ginger gene. We will find out if redheads really carry the DNA of extinct Neanderthals. We will explain why they need more anesthesia to be knocked out, and we will ask the question, is it true that they are going extinct? To understand the redhead, we have to ignore the hair for a moment and look at the chemistry. Deep inside your DNA, on chromosome 16, lives a gene called MC1R, melanocortin-1 receptor. Think of MC1R as the factory manager for your skin and hair pigment. For 98% of the world, this manager is doing its job normally. It produces eumelanin, a dark brown or black pigment that acts like a shield against the sun. But in redheads, the manager is asleep. The MC1R gene is mutated. It's a loss-of-function mutation. Because the dark pigment isn't being produced, the body switches to a backup plan. It starts pumping out something called pheomelanin. Pheomelanin is pinkish red. It is sulfur-heavy, and unlike dark melanin, it offers absolutely zero protection against the sun. This is why redheads come in so many shades. If you have strawberry blonde hair, you are likely carrying just 1 copy of the mutated gene. You are a carrier. But if you have true deep red hair, you have 2 copies, 1 from mom, 1 from dad. You are a genetic double hit. This mutation is recessive, which means it can hide. 2 brown-haired parents can have a red-haired baby, shocking the entire family. It's the ultimate genetic surprise party. But where did this mutation come from, and why did nature allow it to survive? For years, a popular theory circulated on the internet. Redheads are part Neanderthal. It makes sense, right? Neanderthals lived in Europe for 300,000 years. They adapted to the cold. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, came from Africa much later. When scientists sequenced the DNA of Neanderthal bones found in Spain and Italy, they found something incredible. The Neanderthals did have red hair. They had pale skin. So, did we inherit it from them when our ancestors mated with them? The answer is actually more fascinating. Geneticists discovered that while Neanderthals had red hair, their mutation on the MC1 gene was different from ours. This is a case of convergent evolution. It means that nature solved the same problem in the same way, twice. Here is the logic. When humans moved out of Africa and into northern Europe, places like Scotland, Ireland, Scandinavia, the sun became weak. Dark skin blocks UV light, but you need UV light to synthesize vitamin D. Without vitamin D, your bones get soft, you get rickets, and you die. So, about 50,000 years ago, evolutionary pressure smashed the MC1 gene. It turned off the dark pigment to let the skin become pale. Red hair wasn't the goal. Red hair was just a side effect. The goal was to become a solar panel, to absorb every tiny photon of sunlight in a dark, cloudy world. Redheads aren't mutants. They are highly specialized biological machines built for the dark. Now, let's talk about the part that terrifies doctors. If you are a redhead, or if you are a doctor treating one, listen closely. The MC1R gene doesn't just control color. It is linked to the periaqueductal gray in the midbrain, the control center for pain sensation. This gives redheads legitimate superpowers and weaknesses. Superpower number 1, the anesthesia resistance. It is a medical fact. Redheads are harder to knock out. Studies show they require 20% more anesthesia than the average person to remain sedated during surgery. There are horror stories of redheads waking up on the operating table because the anesthesiologist used a standard dose. They also require more local anesthetic, like Novocaine at the dentist. If you are a redhead and you hate the dentist, this is why. You literally feel more pain than other people. 2. The human thermometer. Redheads are more sensitive to thermal changes. They can detect a change in temperature faster and more intensely than anyone else. If a redhead tells you it's freezing in here, believe them. Their body is sensing the cold on a different level. 3. The pain paradox. Here is the weird part. While they are sensitive to toothaches and cold, studies suggest redheads have a higher tolerance for stinging pain, like a bee sting, and can handle spicy food better than most. It's a complex, contradictory nervous system that science is still trying to fully map. With such distinct biological differences, it is no surprise that history has been unkind to the redhead. Humans fear what is rare, and for centuries, red hair was the mark of the beast. Let's look at the darkest chapters. Ancient Egypt. Red hair was associated with the god Set, the god of chaos, storms, and the desert. While they respected Set, they also feared him. There are accounts of red-haired men being sacrificed at the grave of Osiris to ensure the crops would grow. The Middle Ages, the Inquisition. This was a bad time to be different. The Malleus Maleficarum, the handbook for hunting witches, claimed that red hair and green eyes were a sign of a pact with the devil. Thousands of women were persecuted simply because of their genetics. It was believed that red hair was caused by unclean blood or conception during menstruation. Look at medieval art. Look at the Last Supper. Judas Iscariot is almost exclusively depicted with red hair. The logic was simple. Judas was a traitor. Red hair is rare and deceitful. Therefore, Judas was a redhead. This stereotype of the untrustworthy ginger permeated European culture for 1,000 years. It wasn't until the rise of Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, that the narrative flipped. She was powerful, she was divine, and she was a redhead. Suddenly, men in her court were dyeing their beards orange to mimic her power. Fast forward to today, the burning stakes are gone, but the myths remain. You have probably seen the headlines, "Redheads will be extinct in 100 years." The logic goes like this. Because the world is getting hotter, global warming, and redheads need less sun, they will die out. Or because the gene is recessive, it will be diluted until it vanishes. Is scientific nonsense. Recessive genes don't just disappear, they hide. You might be a carrier right now and not know it. In Ireland and Scotland, it is estimated that 40% of the population carries the MC1R variant, even if they have brown hair. As long as people keep moving, mixing, and having babies, the ginger gene will continue to float in the human gene pool, waiting for two carriers to meet. Redheads are not going extinct. They are just playing the long game. However, they do face modern discrimination. In 2011, Cryos International, one of the world's largest sperm banks, stopped accepting donations from red-haired men. Why? Not because of bad genes, but because of supply and demand. They claimed there was simply too little demand for red-haired babies. Think about that. In a world where rarity usually equals value, like diamonds or gold, red hair is the only rare trait that people historically didn't want. So, what is a redhead? They are not vampires, they are not witches, and they are certainly not going extinct. They are a biological marvel. They are the result of humanity's incredible ability to adapt to the harshest environments. They are the living memory of the Ice Age, written in code on chromosome 16. If you are a redhead watching this, you possess a superpower that makes you feel the world more intensely, literally, than 98% of the population. I want to hear from you. Are you a redhead? Have you ever woken up during surgery, or do you find that you are always the first one to feel the cold? Share your biological data in the comments below. Let's verify the science together. And if you enjoyed decoding the secrets of your own body, you need to check out our previous investigation into blue eyes. Are you related to the one single ancestor? Click right here to watch. I'm Lost Origins, and I'll see you in the next mystery.